So, but now we've got our line work, so I'll go ahead and lock this down in Illustrator right here. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll grab an orange color and I'm going to switch over to the blob brush, and that's Shift B. I do it so often that I don't think about it anymore. Okay, but I need another layer, and I'm going to put the layer underneath. And I usually label them to ink. Whoop, I've got my caps lock, ink, and color. So I'm going to go to the color layer. I've got the ink layer locked up so I don't accidentally grab anything. I'm going to go back over here, make sure I'm on the blob brush. I've got my orange, and I just do the coloring book method. I just go D. And come back around. Alright, so what I've got now is a compound path. You can go ahead and look at Control Y, and you can see it's a compound path. I can select it, and it's all great, a compound path and all, but you got two ways you can go ahead and remove it so that you have a fill instead of a compound path. You can double click delete after you select the inside line. Kind of a pain, but it's doable. The other one is to go to Object, Compound Path, and Release. If you remember this key command, Control Shift Alt 8, it'll automatically do it for you or whatever. I've got a quick key so that I can just do it from the keyboard with one, because that's a lot of buttons to hit. But anyway, Alt Shift Control, so we'll go ahead and hit that, and you got a fill. Now, you've got two shapes here. You can go ahead and delete that one, or what I do is the Pathfinder. Either one will work. When I'm doing Pathfinder, I just select them both and it groups or combines them. But with my quick key, it does it all for me. So if you go back, we got it set up. I just hit F2 and it's done. So back to the brush, go ahead, and you can do this as many times as you need to get the shape that you want. But again, just go ahead and make a compound path disappear, and there you go. You go ahead, got it, and again we'll do it with compound path, release, and then Pathfinder combine. Alright, so here we go. We've got our little dude. Now again, we're still on the blob brush, so I'll go in here, select the color, and go in, and it didn't switch over because I didn't highlight that as the color. There, now I'm set, and we'll go ahead and get some eyeballs. I'm going to keep them separate, but you could do it all as one piece, and as long as they don't cross over. I've got the setting that if you go into the other image, even if it's inadvertently, it will group them all. So now what I'm doing here is I'm actually filling in the whole thing. So if you do this and you go in and look at Control Y for the preview, you'll see it's a shape. It's not a line. There's your line right here, and there's your shape right there. So I'm using shapes for the fills and lines for the lines. Alright, so we got you in here. We go in and grab some white. There. And I'll put another one here just for grins. And one here. And well, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put some shading in. Just up at one. Okay, there we go. So we've got that down here. Now if I want it right down to the edge, I can go ahead and clean that up. But it's just a demo. So, and you can come in here and give them a wobble, give them a drop shadow on the eyeballs, maybe over this, and then maybe give it a highlight. Hang on. So we'll just come in here and give a little light shade or a highlight. And let's see, we'll do it on the cheek. And it's the back side, but I'll put it here too just because. So there you go, you got a little toon dude. I guess he looks like, kind of like I'm channeling Darwin from Gumball. If you don't know that reference, you don't have grandkids. Alright, so, and if I want, I can still go back in and we'll do a little erase here. And, oh, I'm going to put in, let's go ahead and unlock my ink layer again so you can see. And I'm just going to go give him some eyebrows real quick. Switching over to, I could do it as a shape. But I like to keep the lines the same, so I'm going to go there. So there's light, and there's pressure, dark. I want it the same, but there you go. And again, with the pressure sensitive, I can go in here and go with some, that's my light, and that's with more pressure. So you got a variation. Pressure, 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 and let up. So you can get some really nice lines that way. And, oh, I wanted to show this real quick. So if I go ahead, I'm using it on smooth, pretty smooth right there. I'll go ahead and put it all the way to accurate. And so if I go in and I can really get some effects that way. Now every now and then you'll end up with a goofy spot right there. But, you know, if I want to, you know, come around the outside edge, you can get a very, very organic look. So that's the most accurate. So let's go ahead and bump it up one more. And okay. So we're going to go ahead and do it again. But you see, it's a little more rounded, not as jittery, but it still has, you know, some jitter. So we'll go ahead and bump it up one more, and you just, you know, try it, you know, and whichever one you like. Actually, most of the time I leave it right here, but because I was doing some really, really cartoony look. But if you're doing like, you know, comic book stuff, you might want something like this. So we'll just bump it up to halfway. And see, it's taking out some of these humps that I'm getting, the jitter. So let's just do one of these. And then let's try to do one of these. So it does have lumps, but not as many as I actually drew. But it's all how much jitter you want in there. Whatever you're accurate with or the results you want, it's pretty simple. I just tweak it until I get what I want. So, and that'll be dependent on, you know, how much shake you got in your hand. The older you are, you might want to bump it up. All right, so anyway, that's what I do.